this is a very nice lifting table. This tree is probably a good 200 pounds. Hi, I'm miltonchang of Bonsaiheirloom, and I'm going to work on this giant California juniper with a great deal of reverence. And you know, my guess, I couldn't say I'm 100% sure. If you study the grain, each line is really a fraction of a millimeter. So by that then, I think it's a reasonable guess to say the California juniper growing in the high desert, the Mojave Desert, the rate of growth is about an inch 100 years to get that fraction of a millimeter into an inch. And so this tree, I surmise, it's about 14 inches at the width. And so it's probably 1,500 years old, if not 2,000 years old, 1,000 years old. It's really quite an old tree. And I bought this about 25 years ago when I first moved into my house. And this tree was dug by Harry Hiravu's buddy, where he would take them out to a very selective place where they can get these old trees. Whereas we newbies, he would take out to a tree where we can take some newer California juniper. So this is really fortunate for me to get this tree. And at that time, as most of the tree, there was hardly any growth, just a little bit of growth on the top. And most of these are created by bending and so forth, let it grow. And so I let it grow uncut. I never cut it, I never wired it, never trained it for about 25 years. That's how much it grew. And I also did not follow the traditional method, although initially I did, is by planting in the regular soil mix. And in fact, when I repot this one, I will use my standard soil mix today, which is 1 part sandy loam, 1 part peat moss, and 1 part perlite. And the tree will even grow even better, and with a lot of fertilizer. So with that then, without much ado, I will start to work on the tree to show you the process, how you work on a California juniper to eventually make it into a masterpiece. This is truly, I'm doing with tremendous reverence. I don't want to mess up to damage a very, very, very venerable old tree. So please join me this wonderful journey. So I'll use this hydraulic table so I can lower and raise the bonsai as I work on it. And as usual, I want to work on the top and then raise gradually to work on the bottom. So with that in mind then, let's move that onto the hydraulic table. Before you work on a tree, you want to decide which one is the front and which is the back. And I look at this one, I thought these are really interesting lines. The person that carved it, that dug out the tree, he carved it somewhat disregard of the grain, and he just carved it this way. But I think a better way would be someday I'll carve it along the grain, like this is along the grain, and then this is not along the grain, but I would work on it gradually. And then you want to see which side is the front. This could be the front. It looked a little bit weird because this part is very thin, and then this part's going up. So I think a good compromise, I don't want to distract from the tree by spectacles, but what's the overall best angle? I think this is the best angle. So this would be the front at this angle. You can see, I get to see a little bit of both this, the live tree, and the dead part, and also that gives me the width without overly bearing by the skinny bottom. And so this, in fact, I will work on as the front. And you can see this tree is really very tall. And if I cut this off, and this can be used for cuttings, you can see this is a nice apex. So if I let this grow, this is a nice curve and then up. Well, I want to show you the California juniper is rather resilient. That's why people would bend at every other angle to make it to shape, which I don't like to do, but it's okay if that's what you prefer to do. I'd rather have it grow naturally, the shape. So each one of these can be made into a little cutting. And if you look hard enough, you'll see these interstitial bumps. There are a lot of roots inside that once you put it in a growing medium, it will come out very quickly. Look at this. You know, I'm not sure 100% they are the root, hidden roots, but they can root out fairly quickly. So now let me work on the tree and then raise it gradually to work on the branches below. So again, I think this, you don't want to go that way. So if I cut it off here, the tree will kind of go up this way and then come out this way. I can wire it or whatever necessary. And again, since it's so resilient, I'd rather use a little bit of bending to shape the tree quickly. So you can see this is going to be the triangle. Peel off the bottom needles. I guess you call them scales. They are really kind of needle scales. Actually, when you pull off the bottom, I think more of the energy will go to the top to form the pad a little bit quicker. So that's another little trick. So you learn these little tricks that isn't the whole game, but it does help a little bit. And now, this branch, this is a little bit wimpy, right? So you can bend it a little bit to straighten it out so it doesn't look wimpy. You see, it's fine. It didn't break. And then this is kind of gone kind of far. So maybe what I would do is I will let this branch come out that fill this hole. And then something goes that way. Junipers are fairly fast growing. And not initially when there's not too much roots. But now that it's established, actually all of this, I would say, all of this grew in the last couple of years a lot. They just, the growth accelerates. So that's the top. That's it. That's the top. Okay, now let's work on the next level. So this one you can see, this branch is coming down kind of nice. And this one somewhat competes with that. I can try to pull it down or make this the double trunk in a sense that this is going up and this is going up, trying to compete. But that's a side branch. It won't be as prominent as the first, but still it's get to see the daylight. And this one's got some curves, so I want to retain some curves. So let me do a little bit of this and then try to maybe add some curve wiring if I had to. From here, I can see this become a second branch in the sense of a double trunk, and then this coming down and so forth. So let me cut this off. Okay, not full yet, but this will come up and maybe we'll emulate something that's similar to that. And now, this branch is coming down this way. If you notice, I actually broke it to get it that way. Otherwise, it was going like this. And so long as it's connected, it's fine. And if you look at it, there are little bumps. If I put some moss around it, they will actually all root out. They're very easy. And that's how, in fact, California juniper are collected. It's a big tree grown, several thousand-year-old tree. A branch hits the ground, and it gets wet, and it starts to root. And that's what you dig up. You don't dig up the big tree. And so this is actually a very rare one. That's actually the real thing. Okay, so now you can see this tree is coming down like this, and I kind of wanted to fill this hole. So I would bend it eventually more carefully to fill this whole area. And given this is going that way, that's going that way, I don't think I need to be totally one-dimensional, but let it grow out to fill the space. And you can see California juniper, when I cut it off, there's a little bit of a bump in here, and they will grow out to become a branch. So it's quite possible something will grow out that way. And like this is going up like this, so this should coming up and going up like that as well, you know, emulate that branch. So I should cut it off like about here. Well, given this one is kind of broken, I better be a little bit careful. And maybe use this branch. That's a little high, but well, let me use this branch. So this could become a branch that emulates this direction. And I pull this off to encourage more growth in that branch. Okay, I think this branch, well, I don't want to exaggerate, so I will use this one, let it grow long someday. It may take a little while, but I think it will look more natural. And then this one is kind of curved backwards. I don't like that. So I actually cut it off here, so then it's going this way. Right, and this could be a good branch going this way, fill out this hole. So I'll cut this off and let this part grow up. And fool around with this one to let these branches grow out to fill the space. And then pick the few branches to keep. I'm peeling off the bottom needles. And then I think this branch wants to go this way. So let me pick a branch that's going that way. I actually prefer something a little short and then this way. So I'll use this one. So someday this branch will be coming down and this will be coming this way and then grow out this way. Again, you have to have a little bit of faith in your vision that it will be okay. And then this one, I don't want to be too long, so I'll cut it off here. Right? And then this is way too long. And I should create a little bit of three-dimensionality. So yeah, this is a hard decision. Like a normal tree, it grows like this, and then this, you say, yeah, it's kind of bob branch. But on the other hand, look at how interesting this little indentation is. And this is such an old tree. You don't argue with the old tree. If it wants to go a certain way, you let it. And so with that in mind, then, I will actually preserve this branch instead of cutting it off, which I would normally do, even though this kind of like parallel strange. But if an old tree wants to do that, you let it be, right? So let me see, how do I do this? So I think what I'll do is I'll let this come out this way and a branch coming down this way to fill this hole. So there'll be a little hole, not far out, but closer right here. So with that in mind, then I will just cut off. Yeah, I would save this branch. So basically this is like saying, you know, I'm an old guy, which I am, that I kind of have my rights to whatever I wanted to do. So even though this branch grew out, I decided to form my own little apex right here. Who was to say that I shouldn't do it? I couldn't do it. And then this then will be continue from here, kind of my secondary tree. And looking at this, I think I need to have something to, like this branch is pointing up. So maybe what I'll do is I'll cut off here, let this one be the up branch. So it's a branch up here, a branch up here, and come on down, and then this branch going down to fill that hole. I really do not know what I'm doing, because but I'm taking a position and then let it grow out again. 6 months from now, a year from now, I'll have the benefit of the doubt to change what I do today in a new direction. And so that's the beauty of the clip and grow. You can never make a mistake. It will always grow back to follow the rules of nature to allow you to do differently. So with that in mind then, this branch is going back too far back, so I cut it. So that would be my side. Again, I want to remember that my front is actually this angle. So look at it, this branch will be coming down this way. And then I got this branch to work with, these two branches to work with. And I think this is a very nice branch to complement, to create that triangle here. And then this one, it really is, also this part is broken, a little bit tenuous. So what I would do is to make this branch fill this hole. I think this is okay to be right here, and then so this is a little bit lower, and then that's even lower. So that's 3 tier. So this one to be held in this place and lower. By the way, the California juniper, when you rub the needle, it's really aromatic. It's really beautifully, smells really good after your hands are working on it for a while. So this branch can go out this way, that's fine. And I think either this way, we shall see which direction it wants to go later at the end. But I want to create a path, so I pull off the bottom. So that coming out and going like this, and this one shouldn't be going too far. So maybe cut off this one and let this one, these grow up to compete to which one wins. And this is going to be too long, so I just cut it short. Let this one grow out to fill this hole. So you can see this is down a bit, this is down a bit, that's down very further, and this is in between. So I'm almost done. You can see all along the branch there are little bumps. And these little bumps, if you wrap moss around it, they are the roots that will come out very quickly. I was thinking, I don't know that for sure, but I think it's really a matter of weeks in the winter time when they're still actively growing. These trees actually grow quite vigorously in the winter time because in the desert it gets very, very cold, so they still grow a little bit, and so here is relatively warm. So let me finish off the last branch right here, and this branch is coming down this way, and I think it's nice. So let me just cut it off a little bit above so that one of these can start to grow out. I leave a little bit of green so it will grow out back. So that's basically it in terms of the tree I wanted to do. Now let me finish off by getting the branches to the right angle, which will only take me a minute. So for example, I will now use anchor wire to get the branch to the right angle. So for example, this branch is fine, but this branch is, to me, it's a little too high. So what I'll do is I'll tie to a kind of a not active growing branch like this one, and tie it to another kind of a dead branch. And so I pull it now into here really quickly, but I think it's in a better angle, and I still don't quite like it. So in fact, I will pull it over to this angle, to give it a little bit lower. So it's a matter of preference, but that's what I prefer. And so that's that little branch. And someday when this branch grows big, I'll make it go this way. Right now there's no great hurry. So I let it grow because this way it actually grows faster than growing this way. So then I just go around and use guide wire to pull all the branches to the right place. This is kind of okay, although I think it should be a little bit more in without being too obtrusive. So anyway, so that will be the other branch to tie it at that angle. Then this one, I think it needs to be down a little bit to let this to kind of a more accentuated triangle. It doesn't really matter, I can tie to anywhere. I just tie it loosely. Like this one, I don't want it to go out that far, so I come this way. I think this one can be wired to look better, so I'll wire it. And then this one can be, I think I better leave it alone, but that's what I'll do. So in short, this is what I'll do to keep it down a little bit. That's a tree. In conclusion, this is a 1,500 to 2,000-year-old California juniper collected from the Mojave High Desert about, I would say 40 years ago. And I bought it about 25 years ago with a very little bit of growth. And I let it grow up and grow down to eventually today I work on the tree for the first time. And by working on it, I think this is the front instead of what I had it before. And not only that, because of the tilting, I would probably move this tree to the pot to this direction with this being the front. So the pot would be this way and this towards the front with that hanging out a little bit out of the pot. And I think it's really a venerable tree that I did it with a great deal of love and respect, that I hope it would become my heirloom, my legacy of I created this tree. In a sense, I did this tree. It was collected by the friends, the close friends of Harry Hirao, where he takes them to this private place where there are really nice trees, which we don't get to go. We are just flunkies. But anyway, I was very fortunate to get it about 25 years ago and just let it grow. And then now I'm working on it to share with you this journey, this wonderful journey of this tree. I hope you will join me to follow this tree. I will give you an update every 6 months to a year. You will see it will have tremendous growth because I put it in I will plant it, repot it, put it in my conventional soil mix, which will make it grow really fast. And I hope you enjoy it. So please click like if you think I'm doing a good job, be informative. And please tell a friend. I think we want to grow the bonsai heirloom community. And please subscribe to our channel and go to our website to sign up for our mailing list. We will have bonsai for sale, not this kind, but more the small gift kind that you will enjoy having. So please join us on this bonsai journey. I'll talk to you next week.